Sources tell CBS News some Trump administration officials are concerned over the rapid pace of missile use in Iran. The dwindling stockpiles of defensive interceptors and long-range missiles have become a pressure point. It's raising broader fears of whether America is ready for a wider conflict. Still, the fighting is only ramping up. U.S. military forces completed a 13th round of attacks on Iran last night. Tehran says it carried out its own strikes on U.S. bases in Bahrain and Jordan. Now, President Trump is threatening Iran and its Houthi allies with a major military punishment. For more on all of this, we're joined by CBS News Middle East contributor Courtney Kealy, who's in our D.C. bureau today. Courtney, good morning. Our audience has learned so much about the Strait of Hormuz this year, but talk to us about another key energy trade waterway in which Houthi attacks in the Red Sea could also loop into this conflict.
Well, this is another choke point that the Yemenis can exploit with Iranian assistance and Iranian approval, really, because they are allied to the axis of resistance, different from Hezbollah and Hamas, but in alliance. So this route actually goes over Bab el-Mandeb, which is called the Gate of Tears, and you can go up through the Red Sea into and cross the Suez Canal into the Mediterranean. But if that is threatened, most shipping has to go down around the Cape of Good Hope in Africa, which adds days and expenses to any ships going to Asia, especially. And so what's happened is the Yemenis, who had a blockade against Israeli ships and vessels since post-October 7th, since the Netanyahu government responded with attacks in Gaza to October 7th, Yemen declared their allegiance to Hamas then. Now they're actually saying the blockade is against Saudi vessels. They have their own issue with the Saudi government, which backs an opposition group to them inside Yemen. But this spills into an international problem because these Saudi ships that need to go through there, if the Yemenis continue to attack them, the Houthi Yemenis continue to attack them, it changes everything. It creates such a risk for other tankers to go through there. It means that insurance has already shot up. Oil prices shoot up. So they don't actually have to close it completely off for it to make have huge repercussions, actually, across governments, countries, oil prices, and insurance risks.
Yeah, as we're seeing with Brent crude jumping above $100 a barrel recently. So trade routes are under pressure. But what's happening politically? Because there's this nuclear deal announced with Saudi Arabia and the U.S. But President Trump, after announcing the agreement, says, well, it's only conditional on Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham Accords. Is that something they're likely to do, do you think?
Well, the short answer is no, and I'll tell you why. Now, they might have been before October 7th, when the Abraham Accords during President Trump's first administration was signed. Arab countries did turn away from the Palestinian-Israeli issue and really signed on to Abraham Accords without any resolution of the Israeli-Palestinian issue. But after the massacres of October 7th wrought by Hamas, and then all the bombings inside Gaza and inside the region after, including southern Lebanon now, after October 7th, has created different alliances. The Saudis cannot turn away from the Palestinians at this point because of their own people, really. And while they could have before, they certainly can't now. And you can't really change a deal once it's inked. The deal that was inked didn't include the gold standard. It gave the U.S. a lot of opportunities financially to ally with the Saudis and build a lot. But now it looks like it's in complete jeopardy since President Trump is changing the rules after the deal was signed.
All right, Courtney Kealy in our D.C. bureau for us. Thank you, Courtney.